Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new review. And this time around we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me review by 88 Films. And you can pick this up on Blu-ray at all your favorite online retailers. It is a film from 1981 titled Marital Club. So, I think this is the first Shaw Brothers film I reviewed for you guys from the 80s. I know we just did Heroes, which was from the 90s, but I'm pretty sure this might be the first one that I've reviewed from the 80s. And this is directed by the same guy who did the legendary Weapons of China, which I reviewed a little while back to. So he is pretty known for working with the Shaw Brothers and doing some of the better Shaw Brothers films. And Marital Club is really different. It still has the class issues that talk about in all these Shaw Brothers movies. But it's a very colorful movie, especially the beginning of the film. It's very colorful. It doesn't start off like a usual Shaw Brothers film, and it doesn't really play out like a usual Shaw Brothers film until the final act. It kind of plays like a buddy comedy through the first 2/3 of the film, and then when it hits the final act, then you start to see some of the classic Shaw Brothers traits start to come out in full effect. But Marital Club basically follow 3 martial clubs in Hong Kong, and 2 good ones and 1 bad one. Basically what martial clubs is they're ran by a master, and they're basically gangs, but they're clubs. So like biker clubs, but for martial arts. And like I said, we have 2 good gangs and 1 bad gang, and we follow 1 character from one of the good gangs and 1 of the characters from the other good gang. They're buddies. They're buddies. And, you know, they mess around throughout the first 2/3 of the film. That's where the buddy comedy aspects kind of come in this movie. They're really funny. And besides, what was that other one that I've talked? Monkey something. I can't remember the name of it. There it is. Monkey Kung Fu. That's it. Monkey Kung Fu. These Shaw Brothers films haven't really been, you know, comedic. But I feel like this one has a pretty good pace with its comedic values. So basically, one day, the bad martial club, decides to turn against the other 2 clubs, and they basically get in a heated battle, and that ends up in the 3rd act, where we get this really interesting fight sequences between the master of the bad club and one of our good main characters. It takes place in this alley. And as the alley goes on, it gets the width gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So by the end, you know, the width of the alley is only 3 feet long, and it's just a really well choreographed fight scene. And as I was watching it, I was like, you could totally tell that the guy who directed The Raid Redemption, which is, you know, one of the best martial art films of the century for sure, definitely was influenced by that scene. One scene in particular in that film, you could totally tell that. He saw this movie, and he saw that scene in the alley, and he tried to pay homage to it in that film. But that scene is definitely the highlight of this movie. Like I said, it's really well choreographed, and the tight space really makes it claustrophobic, which you don't really associate with a fight sequence. You kind of associate, you know, big, wide, open spots with a lot of movement and things like that. But when you kind of push it together, it kind of leads to a pretty intense feeling throughout the characters. And the other highlight of this movie is the opening. We learn about the Hong Kong culture and lion dancing, which is basically a person in the front and a person in the back. If you guys have seen Chinese New Year kind of celebrations, you probably already know what I'm talking about. But there's certain traits between lion dancing and these martial clubs. And there's certain etiquettes you follow and things like that. But in the beginning, there's this amazing line dance where we have a circular base with about, I don't know, 20 people holding it up. And then standing on top of that circular base is another like 10 people holding another smaller circular base. And on the top of that is 5 people holding a circular base. And on top of that, it's the small circular base with the lion on top dancing. It's just a really awesome imagery. Really insane sequence, and the strength that these actors and performers had to have to be able to carry that weight, especially on the bottom, is just absolutely insane. It's definitely one of the highlights of these Shaw Brothers films that I've watched so far. It's a really cool sequence, not because of its martial arts characteristics, but it's just it's a cool choreographed dance number. It's really cool. I highly recommend you guys check it out if you guys have a chance to pick up this release. It's a really cool opening sequence. So Marital Club is pretty good. It's more of the same with the themes that we typically see in all these Shaw Brothers films, but I feel like it has some really great characteristics that makes it stand out from some of the other ones that I've talked about with you guys, while carrying some of the same traits that everybody knows and loves. So I recommend Marital Club. It's pretty good. So for the features, you have a HD transcripts from the regular negative. Then you got the 1.0 HD mono Cantonese track with newly translated English subtitles. And then you got the English audio dub. Of course, I watched the Cantonese as always. You got 2 commentary tracks from Asian cinema experts. And you got a Instructors of Death featurette that talks about Shaw Brothers films and how they played into the Grindhouse era and things like that. And then you have another interview with one of the actors, another interview with one of the lots of interviews on this one with either stuntmen and actors, which if you guys have listened to my other 88 films reviews of the Shaw Brothers releases, they really don't have that many interviews, but this one definitely does have a lot of interviews. So that's the package. You get your usual 88 films package, got your really nice slipcover, and inside you got your disc with reversible cover art, and you got your booklet with the English title on it, which is Instructors of Death, which was rated R. I don't see this movie being rated R. It's not violent or anything like that. There's not that much blood even at all. And then you get your original poster. So very nice release once again from 88 Films. I'm having a real fun time going through these Shaw Brothers films because, like I said, I haven't been too connected to them in my cinema journey. I haven't really watched too many of them. So to be able to watch and review these guys for you, I've been really enjoying it. So that's Marital Club from 88 Films. Recommend you guys pick it up. Thanks again, everybody, for watching this video. If you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRover22. Hope everybody is doing well, and I shall talk to you guys soon. See you guys.